Let's talk about weight loss, losing weight, because now wherever you open any page, Instagram, Facebook, you find some pictures before and after. Someone is in the gym, someone is doing some 5K, marathon, things of that nature. Everyone wants to be healthy, eat well, to avoid unnecessary diseases. So welcome to the EBM Scholars Show, and I'm Ernest Boniface Makulilo, and today we are talking about weight loss. But before we go into too much details about weight loss and everything, just for fun, let's ask ourselves. I've lived both in Africa and in the US, but just want to know your opinion. Which one is harder in case you have ever lived in both areas? Is it harder for you to live and lose weight while you are here or in Africa? And I'll give some of my opinion on that and see what is your take, and you can have discussion on our comments here. Okay, so first of all, let's ask ourselves. I remember while I was growing up back in Tanzania, and the first question when someone talks about I'm losing weight, that is a foreign concept back in our time. I know nowadays it's just a common thing. It's starting becoming a common thing in Africa, but it wasn't something like losing weight is something. First of all, when you were skinny, maybe you are not eating well, malnutrition, all those other things, crazy stuff on you happening. And when you become fat, overweight, it is positive. So it's a different concept. Weight gain or becoming fat, it is more positive. That means you are eating well, you have money, you got promotion, things of that nature. So that's how I grew up, having that kind of mindset in my life. But something also in Africa, why the concept of weight loss was so much foreign to many people. As I said, many people who are losing weight is because they had some diseases. But basically, if you gain weight, that means it's good. The status is going up. But another thing is, even if people gain weight, the lifestyle in Africa back in the day, a little bit, I'm talking about 10, 15, 20 years ago, was more active life compared to now, especially in urban areas. People in the rural areas, they are doing fantastic, doing very, very well. But in urban, no. So that's what is happening now. But people used to be very, very active. By being active, that means people can walk a lot of kilometers going to visit their friends. People used to, the food we used to eat, we eat most organic food. We didn't have malls, supermarkets, whatever. Everything you just go and buy, or you just get it from your garden. You go get it from your farm, go and get it from the neighbor. You go to buy from the local market. But nowadays, we are starting going to typical Western culture. We go to supermarket, is good status. When you go to Nakumati, you go to whatever Mlimani City in Tanzania or Nakumati in Kenya. When you go to those malls, sometimes it's becoming status. But sometimes it's a convenience where you live. You are closer to the mall than going to buy things from the local store. So those are the things like happening now. So things are changing. But it used to be not that way. It used to be you eat food like cassava is a real cassava. You eat things like fruits from trees, but now you have to go and get a fruit from supermarket. You used to get a chicken. You just get a chicken from the market. You slaughter by yourself, or you bring the neighbor to help you to slaughter the chicken. You eat, but now you are going to buy a chicken which is staying there for 2, 3, 4 days in the supermarket before you go to buy. So it has nothing. There is no difference, that life versus American life now. So we are in the same boat now, whether you're in Africa, whether in the US. Nowadays, everybody after graduating, get a job, the first thing you do, you want to buy a car. After coming from work, where do you go? You go to the bar. After coming from the bar, or you go to home, you just go and start using WhatsApp, watching TV, sitting on the couch. What are you going to do? Just eating rice, eating fufu, ugali, or something like that, chapati, mandazi, a lot of stuff, deep fried food. Then you just watch a TV show, you watch European Champions League, soccer games, and then you go to sleep. That's all. We don't have time to exercise. We don't have the time which was active like back in the day. The kids nowadays, they get a lot of diseases. You find someone is 10 years old is having blood pressure. Why? Because the kid is just eating this food which we see is good life, deep fried food, McDonald's nowadays everywhere, Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC everywhere. It's just a good status. Then kids don't have time to play. We grew up playing soccer, running, doing everything in school, but nowadays they don't do that. So the life is different. So whether you're in Africa, whether you're in here, yes, you still gain weight. And it is not like back in the day, like it is more healthy way if you are fat. But nowadays it's a little bit scary because there are so many diseases associated with the weight gain and not being active. I don't say weight loss that you'll be avoiding all the disease. I'm talking about being active, because you can be a bigger person like those playing American football, but you are so much strong, very active. You can see people doing WWE wrestlers. They are big people, heavy. They have big belly, but they are very active. So what matters is how you can be active in that way. So let's go back to the question. Now we know also in Africa you can gain too much weight and get the same problem, the problems which we saw back in the day, like, okay, these kinds of diseases, blood pressure, cancer, and all other diseases, we used to say those are diseases for rich people or those are diseases for white people. But nowadays is everyone, you can see all those diseases. So how can we avoid is the lifestyle we are going to choose. So the traditional life in Africa has changed. But is it easy or harder to lose weight? So let me start with in Africa. There are a lot of advantages trying to lose weight if you're in Africa. Number one advantage or the benefit of living in Africa and try to lose weight is you have organic, natural food. If you want fruits, you get the pure fruits, even without any kind of fertilizer, any kind of whatever. They didn't put anything. It's just through the rain or something. So you can get it organic 100%. And still the fruits are very, very affordable. You can get, for instance, one mango you get for few, but one mango in the US is $1, which is, for Tanzanian shillings, for instance, is over 2,000 Tanzanian shillings. For Kenya, $1 is 100 shillings. Sometimes it goes up to $1.50, $1.50, just one mango. So in US, fruits, vegetables are so much expensive. So if you want to lose weight for buying healthy food, here it is very expensive, but it is easier in Africa because you get those natural food. Even when you go to buy meat, you are going to buy, let's say, chicken, or you are going to buy beef. The cow has been slaughtered in the morning and you are buying in the morning. But here, I don't know how many days the cow has been slaughtered to go to buy from the supermarket. Or you can just see another thing, like you are going to buy a chicken. In Africa, you can buy a chicken and slaughter yourself and do the chicken from the scratch. But here, you buy a chicken already, put some preservatives and all other things already. So that is another challenge. You add another chemicals, but over there you eat a pure natural food. So that is the advantage. In US, I usually tell people it is cheaper to gain weight, but it is expensive to lose weight. In Africa, is the contrast. It is expensive to gain weight, and it is cheaper to lose weight. Why am I saying that way? Because here, if you want to buy 4 liters of orange juice, you can buy 4 liters maybe for $3. 4 liters is 1 gallon here in US. But if you buy 1 orange, you can buy for $2, just 1 orange, or $1.50. So the issue is food which are having chemicals, they are cheaper. But a natural fruit is so expensive. But it's vice versa in Africa. If you go to buy the juice which is packaged because it is put into Western container or something like that, it is expensive, and people feel that it's cool to buy that way. But it is cheaper to go to buy pineapple and use a blender at home and do it. But many people prefer to buy those one in boxes because sometimes it looks like more a quality life. It's just a status sometimes. But if you decide to eat natural, you have your blender and do everything on your own, you cook your own food, it is very cheap in Africa. To buy meat, do on your own, it's so cheaper than going to buy KFC. Or Mary Brown, or McDonald's, or those kind of Subway. So those are the things like if you compare. But the advantage here in the US, which I see, the concept of losing weight is normal. If I go out with my friends and I say, you know, I'm on diet, they can understand what I'm going to eat. They cannot pressure me. But in Africa, it's very different. If you're going for a birthday party or you are going somewhere out with people, you say, I'm on diet, whatever. So are you going to be white? What's the problem with you? Or don't you love me? You come on my birthday, you're not going to eat anything, you're not going to eat cake. So they put you into the guilt mode, which is different here. Here, if someone say, I'm on diet, people understand. At home, when I'm on diet, I say I'm not eating maybe starch for 1 week or 1 month. My wife is not going to say, oh, but it's just a small piece of rice. No. If I'm not going to use any fried food for this year, someone cannot just pressure you just to tempt you or just make you feel guilty for not eating. We don't have that way. That's the advantage. In Africa, someone is pressuring, oh, it's my birthday, you have to eat just a tiny bit, whatever. If you don't do that, your mother say, oh, you don't love me. Nowadays, you pretend to be white, you become westernized, you want to be English figure, you want to do this. So they put you, feel so bad, you end up eating that way. So that is if you compare the two. But another thing is, here, there are other areas you can be able to lose weight in terms of, the roads, they have sidewalk. You can be able to walk or run just on your street at your home. You don't need to go to the gym. Also, there are parks. For instance, from here, from where I live to park is less than 1 kilometer or half a mile, I can simply say, to go to the park. That means there is a soccer field, basketball field. I can just go and do exercise. There is indoor, there is outdoor. I can do all those things just for free. But roads in Africa, they are not allowing, or they are not structured, most of them, to allow people to go and do exercise. There are no free parks in many countries where someone can do. There are few countries, they have public areas, many areas, someone can be able to go there to exercise. So that is another thing. Some of the countries like in West Africa, you see like Senegal, they have a very big beach park, I think, or it was at the beach. They have equipment for gym free. There are some of the areas I see in Kenya, they have those one. So if we keep those one, it becomes easier for people to have the culture of exercising and being active. But when it comes to gym membership, here, gym membership is cheaper, is normal. And in some places you can get even for $20 per month, $30 per month, depending which gym you are going or what kind of deals they have. But I was wondering, one day I was talking to a friend of mine who works in one of the hotel, and that hotel have gym membership. They say, oh, if you want to become a member here, you have to pay. If you convert it, it was on special deal. It was like 150 or 120 per month. That's so much expensive. So sometimes people, they think that gym is just like luxury life. Is just, and instead of just this is a basic need for other majority of people who want to exercise, because not all can go on the road to do that. But if you come to gym, it's a little bit safer. You cannot be hit by the car, or sometimes if you want to go to early in the morning, during the late night, sometimes if you have a gym, it will be okay. And here, a lot of people, they have gym at their home. I have equipment at my house. People have equipment at their home. It's just normal. But people in Africa, majority of them, they don't have equipment at home, because some of these equipments they are selling so high, and some people, they don't want to have that one because maybe they didn't have the room to prepare things of that nature. So those are some of the things, like they bring challenges on both sides. Or one place can be advantageous, some other place cannot be advantageous. So those are some of the, if you compare. So in the end, it's up to you. How are you going to do it? In Africa, for instance, the main food is starch. But if it is starch too much, you are not going to lose weight. You are going to get too much fat in the end. Because starch, if you are not going to be active, the energy is going to be converted to be fat in the end. So someone breakfast, eating chapati and something else and whatever, deep fried something. Lunch, rice and something. Dinner, French fries and some. So everything is too much starch instead of protein. Or you have big piece of rice like this in a plate and 3 pieces of meat. So those are the things, like in Africa, those are the challenges. But so if you can convert, because you can eat a lot of protein, you can eat a lot of vegetables, you can eat a lot of fruits, and it will be cheaper still. You can be that. So it's just like the mindset of changing of starch as the main food to be protein as the main food. So those are some of the challenges people are facing. So I want to share with you to see these challenges. The time when I was extremely overweight and when I decided to lose weight, how I was. For me, I didn't want, when I came to America, when I was gaining weight, I felt great because I was skinny in Africa and you think that I was not eating anything. So it was okay. But I came to lose weight not because of the health issues. It was because I wanted to join the US military. So the requirement, obviously, I have to lose weight. So that was the reason. So I want to show you pictures to show you how I was. So on this one, when you're here, was the year 2012, before I started the journey of losing weight. And this one is current, that is me at the moment. But when you lose weight, then you can gain it depending on your discipline. So when I was in the military, so this is when I was in the military. After losing weight, after have been very, very active, that is when I was. So then I gained weight. It's so sad. This picture was in 2017. It was beginning of 2017, and this one is current me, this one I was in Japan. I was in the US Navy. We were in Japan deployment, so I was at the peak of exercising. I was able to run 5 kilometers in 16 minutes. So those are some of the things like people we have to consider. So when you lose weight, you are not just you are going to lose weight and then if you start eating bad, you are going back to be overweight. So it's just you have to change to be a lifestyle. So even myself, currently when I'm talking to you, I've lost almost like 14-15 kilograms because I was traveling for work and I didn't have discipline of eating. You just go there, you eat bad, whatever. You come back home, you don't exercise. All those things happen. So is it easier losing weight? It's not easy because you need discipline. Don't do this one because of before and after Instagram and then you just that way. You need to have a discipline of eating well. Don't starve yourself. Eat protein, a lot of protein. Eat fruits, eat vegetables, eat barbecue. The only thing, avoid too much oil, too much starch. And you don't need to be like running every single day. You can be walking, being active instead of using elevator. Just use the stairs. Simple. Things of that nature. Come home, play with your kids. All those things will make you active. So those are some of the things I want to explain to you. The challenges you will be facing if you want to lose weight. It is serious. Whether you're in America, whether you're in Africa, losing weight is not a joke. It's very, very difficult. So all the best for you. I have so many videos I've been explaining what kind of food exactly, what to do, and all other things like to make it easier for you. So thank you so much. Share the video with your friends and everyone you know in your social media network.